first get here, over there, they say, we're all family here.
It was a place to make lifetime friends.
Right.
The water ice,
the food,
the pretzels are good. We love it.
This pool binded us through a lot of trials and tribulations.
You can learn a lot of experiences that you never learned before.
Just about every day of the summer, I was the first one in and the last one out. This is our precious place. Nestled in the middle of Yeadon, Pennsylvania, the Nile Swim Club has been enjoyed by generations of families and celebrities since 1959, when it was founded, following an incident of racial discrimination.
Something as simple as recreational swimming literally was the dividing line between whites and blacks.
There were boundaries that we had to live inside of. If you had to live on this side of Bailey Road, on this side of Lansdowne Avenue, on this side of Baltimore Pike, and on this side of Church Lane, it was that square that we all lived there. And you couldn't, if you ventured out of there, you were going to get arrested or questioned or beat up.
The Nile was made because the whites had their own pool that the blacks wasn't allowed to go to.
My husband spoke to my Dr. Johnson, and he said, Dr. Johnson, I was around to take a membership of the Yeadon Swimming Club, and they told me they was all filled up. And Dr. Johnson went, and they told him also the same thing.
Several other neighbors up and down this particular block agreed to get together and have a discussion as to the problems involved and what steps should be taken.
Two different clubs, two different groupings. Water was the place where the two shall not mix. And in fact, if they did, they would empty the pools.
So I came and I was very impressed. So I said, for goodness sake, this is a good place for my children. They had a lovely group of people who sat on the side over there, who brought their food and they ate and they talked, and just wonderful. So I said, oh, this is the place for me.
We had someone who came and taught us synchronized swimming. And we would do routines up and down the pool. We would do the circles. We would do the legs in the air. We would do the whole deal, you know. And first of all, they didn't even expect black folks to swim. But the fact that we knew what synchronized swimming was just off the chart.
We had swimmers and we had divers. The most talent was on Fox in the Hole.
Oh, come on.
Fox in the Hole is a game where somebody is it and they gotta jump off the diving board, and it's more than 6 players and they're on the other side and they jump in and say Fox in the Hole.
It wasn't real elitist. I mean, we had our athletes that really were doing it, but then we had little kids. Like, I remember I was striving to be able to go all the way down to the bottom and swim across the bottom, you know, elusively, and then come up on the other side. I couldn't hold my breath that long, and then I got a little better, and then it got to the point where you kind of wanted to be in the middle because you were trying to catch these cats that were trying to fly overhead. So there was definitely a sense of community here.
That infamous game played by generations kept the water rocking, but the action wasn't just in the pool. Harry Belafonte and the Supremes graced the Nile, and a hip-hop icon, plus one of Hollywood's biggest superstars, got their break at the Nile.
Yeah, we used to set up the equipment here and do all the parties here. And then, Will Smith, who used to be, he was with a group called
the Fantabulous Four.
Right. He was the MC before he got with Jazzy Jeff. We used to always battle here. So it was, this is kind of like where we kind of got our start from.
For decades, the Nile Swim Club was the place to be. But just how long can a swim club survive on water alone? In 2007, the club embarked on a failed expansion project to create a year-long facility that ultimately crippled the Nile and filled the coffers of architectural and marketing firms that produced very few tangible results.
Actually, the money was spent for plans that the architect put together. There were lots of things that distracted, I think, Mr. Gary from that project. And I mean, he was totally committed to the project, but he was distracted because he was using the resources for the project, and not even resources for the project, but using resources for other things that just weren't supporting the development of the project.
Unfortunately, Mr. Gary has passed away, and I think he was one of the main driving forces in back of doing the whole pool over again.
Today, Yeadon, Pennsylvania is comprised of more than 80% African Americans, but the club still struggles to create a new membership base. In September 2010, we filed for bankruptcy.
In my opinion, filing for bankruptcy is only a Band-Aid.
50% of our operating costs go to paying taxes. I mean, this place operates from Memorial Day to Labor Day, yet we're paying $45,000 in taxes.
Yeah, we didn't pick up the torch like we should have.
Exactly. I don't think that we picked it up, but I don't think that the torch was
encouraged.
granted to us.
It wasn't passed.
I mean, this was always like in the. I mean, I don't even know who ran the Nile, except for the manager who was here there. But there was other folks behind the scenes who were making decisions that we never saw, that never granted us the opportunity to know what was going on until we get into a situation like this. So.
They're going to have to get a board of directors that has a vision of how they're going to move forward.
Because my 4 and 6-year-old used to be in the baby pool. Now my 4-year-old is in the 3 feet, and my 6-year-old is working his way up. So yeah, he's working his way up to the 5 foot. So I see that there, but the potential is still, the foundation is still here for us to build on.
The Nile's history is that we as a community decided what its fate should be, and the same thing should be true for its future.
I think it's bright. I hope it's bright. And I think it can go in that direction where we can only go up. We can't go any further down. If it goes down, it's gone.
We have to get people to understand that the Nile is bigger than any one person.
Yeah.
And we have to get past that and the individual personalities and think of the Nile, as, our focus.
It needs a much huger population, a much broader population. And frankly, it needs private folks, individuals, to come out of their pockets.
I always have tears in my eyes when everybody says, oh, we can need some money, it was gonna, I said, but no, we're not gonna do that. But then on the other hand, it makes me cry to think that it might happen,
And it's what our parents worked for.
Exactly.
For us.
Yep. And future generations, for my grandson, and hopefully his children.
The fate of this precious place lies in the hands of its members and the Yeadon community. Just as those families over 50 years ago took control of their destiny, so must we.
right now, wherever you live, come and swim at the Nile Swim Club.